Hi everyone, how are you all doing? My name is Natalie. If this is the first time that you're watching my videos, thank you for stopping by. I hope that if you enjoy what I do and share on this channel, you can subscribe and share it with your friends. In this video, we are talking about this upcoming week astrology forecast, and we'll end the video with a message from the universe through cards. So this video is talking about October 28th to November the 3rd of 2024. And as I'm recording and uploading it, it's already Monday the 28th. But I love to use astrology not to just listen to what is coming up, but also coming back by the end of the week or by the end of a certain transit or full moon, new moon astrology, to come back and have a listen again to see how I move through those energy, what that happen, and if those energy that show up or not, or if I experience it from other people are experiencing it, and so on and so forth. So astrology is definitely a great tool for forecasting and reflecting. So I invite you to do that. And because this weekend has been just really busy, so just a tad late. Anyway, let's get to it. This is going to be quite a long video maybe, because when I'm writing, when I'm looking at the transit, everything is kind of relating to each other, because the energy is building up as the week starts and accumulate until the end of the week when we have the Scorpio new moon, because those aspects in earlier of the week, you probably will still be moving through them or feeling them. So I just cram everything into this one video. So just bear with me this week if you're already experiencing it, because like I always say, I'm telling you the dates, the time of certain aspect that is coming to accumulation, but energy flows. So you probably might be working or feeling this energy prior I talk about it, or after. So just bear that in mind. You might feel that during the weekend that there's a sense of heaviness, there's a sense of tension in the air or in certain area in your life. So maybe that is why, because this week is packed with energy. So let's talk about it, right? So also just bear in mind, because it's a fully packed week, please take care of yourself, space out your schedule if it's possible, and make time for self-care and rest if you can. So let's dive in. 28th, Monday, we have Mars in Cancer having a trine with Neptune retrograde in Pisces. So today can be a day that you take action upon your dreams, your creativity, your creative endeavors or side hustle, or maybe today is you make something creative, right? Some of you might like to write music, paint, write poems, play music, or whatever, draw, right? In make videos in your spare time or as your job. So today there's a sense of flow of creativity coming in for all of us. So Mars is that action taking planet, right? It wants to move things forward. But in Cancer, it takes action from an emotional standpoint, right? You might be feeling really strongly about certain things. That's why you want to take action. And today with the trine with Neptune, it might be something that is related to your dreams, your hopes, your creativity. On the same day, we have Venus in Sagittarius having a square with Saturn retrograde in Pisces. So this is a bit more serious because it's a square, right? It's tense. Venus in Sag loves its freedom and just want to do her own thing, doesn't want to be tied down and being told what to do, right? Venus in Sag just loves to explore and be adventurous. But Saturn's like, no. Saturn is that boundary, right? It's the no. Saturn is like, no, not doing it today. No, today you are not allowed. Okay, so this square can mean that if you have planned to do something today, you might meet a roadblock, you might have a stop sign, you might have a pause, right? You wanted to have this day, you plan on go on this adventure or go and explore that new cafe or something, and Saturn is not happening. You got stuck in traffic. You missed the bus. There's some kind of roadblock, right? And this can be very mundane, right? Some people will experience that, right? You're on your way to do something that you're looking forward to, that you're excited about, and then you want to book that trip, maybe, and then you find out that, ooh, maybe I cannot. I've been spending a lot. So that might come up as well, because Venus talks about money matters, right? So today, Saturn might give you a little bit of a slap on your hand, or just giving you a reality check. It's like, hey, time to look at your bills. Have you been spending too much? Maybe you shouldn't get that. Maybe you should return that. Do you really need that? How are you spending? So this might be a day where some of us are having to have a look at our finance and have a little bit of reality check, because you know, the fun thing that you want to do in that Venus and Sag might be stopped by Saturn today. Venus also talks about relationship. So today, for some people in the relationship sectors, whether this is romantic, friendship, family dynamic, might have a little bit of a roadblock too, a little reality check, because Venus in Sag might have you, if you're in the dating pool, if you are, you know, single, dating, mingling with people, today might be a day where Saturn's asking you to have a reality check. Are they long-term material? What are you looking for? Maybe it's time to say what you want and see if you can move the relationship to the next level, or if it's time to part ways. So yes, definitely today can be a day where some of you might experience a breakup, a serious talk in relationships, right? Or you are feeling stuck or restricted by this relationship. You want to talk about it. You want to get out of it. It's like, I don't want to do this anymore. This is not what I want. We need to talk, right? Or this is a friendship. I don't like the way you're treating me. I feel very, you know, restricted, or I don't feel happy about this friendship. I need to talk to you about it. So today can be one of those days as well. Mercury is very busy this week. Mercury is making all the aspect it possibly can make, and it will also move to the next sign. So when there's this heavy focus on mercurial energy, this week might be a bit of a mumbo jumbo with, you know, transportation, communication, technology, because that is all the things that Mercury rules and talk about. So on the 30th, Mercury in Scorpio is going to oppose Uranus in Taurus. So this can be a sudden news. There's a out of surprise, there's a shocking news coming up, whether this is on a collective level or in your personal world. Taurus talks about finance, Uranus talks about, you know, electricity, and Mercury talks about all those tech, transportation stuff. So who knows, today there might be, knock on wood, nothing bad happening, but there might be some kind of transportation issues. Maybe it's just traffic jam, or let's not project it out, right? But there might be some kind of issues, or technology malfunction that you might experience, right? So bear that in mind. And today there might also be, you know, some kind of sudden information coming in for you, or on a collective level news, or this can be your internal sudden realization, aha moment, a wake-up call from Mercury and Uranus. So see what that might mean for you. And the next day, on the 31st, we have Mercury in Scorpio trining Neptune retrograde in Pisces. This Mercury trine is so on brand with today's energy. When I saw it, I'm like, oh my God, of course, right? Mercury in Scorpio, deep dark conversation, right? We're talking about everything we cannot see. We're talking about spirituality, spirits, everything. Trining Neptune. This is about talking to your ancestor, talking to your passed on loved one, communicating with them. And what is today? It's Halloween, it's Samhain, also Day of the Dead, where we celebrate the passed on loved ones. We remember them, we honor them, our ancestor, and so on and so forth. So this trine is beautiful, it's lovely. If you are doing any kind of spiritual healing, ancestral healing, or you're doing anything to communicate and honoring them, today is that beautiful day to do so, And who knows, maybe some of us might see some of our ancestors pass on loved ones in our dreams, meditation, or you might have some interesting encounter. If so, please let me know, comment below. I would love to know. And now let's talk about the new moon in Scorpio, which is happening for us November the 1st, 5:37 a.m. Pacific time, or November the 1st, 8:47 p.m. Hong Kong time, so adjust the time according to where you are in the world. What a great day to start off. What an energy to start off the month. November 1st, 111. And we have the Scorpio new moon. And it's happening at 9 degrees with the sun and moon at 9 degrees in Scorpio. So like I said, Scorpio is this transformative, very mysterious, but also very alluring enigma energy, magnetic, passionate, and it's that no bullshit kind of energy too, right? Just tell me like it is. Let's get down and dirty. I want to see your shadow. I want to merge with you kind of energy, right? So this new moon in Scorpio can definitely bring in that energy in your Scorpio house. So take a look and see where this is happening for you in your own natal chart. And it talks about death and rebirth. It talks about the changing of season, reminding us change is the only constant in life, right? This new moon is ruled by Scorpio's ruler, Mars. Mars right now is in Cancer and is already in its pre-shadow phase of the Mars retrograde journey. So Mars is not very strong, unfortunately. And during this Scorpio new moon, Mars in Cancer is having an opposition with Pluto and Capricorn. This is a very tough and intense aspect, and it will be the strongest by the end of this week on the 3rd. But you are definitely feeling this energy all week long, probably the week prior, because the energy is building. They're coming closer and closer together. So you probably have been feeling it already. It's kind of like this push and pull energy. Mars in Cancer is a bit more passive. It's not able to really just go and take action. It's more reserved. It wants to assess the situation and everything. It worries, you know, if it's making the wrong move. So it's more passive. It's more of an observer, and they take action from an emotional perspective standpoint. So you might be very driven by your emotion, which can be a great thing, right? It can be a drive to take you on, to allow you to act upon something that you feel deeply about, that you feel passionate about. But it can also bring you to a level that you might not want, because sometimes your emotion is can be really heightened and you take an impulsive action, right? Or you can also be a bit passive aggressive, and people will be like, what the hell do you want, right? So this can be not the best energy to work with, and opposing Pluto. But Pluto is like, no, you gotta look deep within you. You gotta dig deep into that emotional and see what is happening, why is it happening, what kind of action you need to take. This opposition is forcing you to excavate, investigate why you're feeling maybe really push and pull, suppressed in some way, very wanting something but also not wanting something, right? Some of you might be feeling that, and this new moon is going to amplify that feeling. And just sit with it and see what that might mean for you. Be that Scorpio detective and investigate and look deeper into the root cause, right? Because if I can describe the Scorpio energy, it's not the glamorous, the beautiful thing you get to see. It's that root, that really deep, dark root beneath the surface, that nobody pays attention, but yet is so rich beneath the soil, because this is the backbone that support that plant, flower, trees, whatever, right? Without it, it will not stand. But nobody appreciate it, right? And nobody want to dig deep and look down at the root system, but it's there, we know. But now this opposition is asking you to look deep within certain part of your life, an area, a relationship, situationship, dynamic. Why is it causing this uneasiness or this push and pull energy, right? And something needs to be let go. Something needs to move. You need to let go and something address the situation once and for all, because both of them are in the last degree, 29 degrees in Cancer. That's where Mars is, and Pluto 29 degrees in Capricorn. This is also the last time you will experience this opposition, because very soon Pluto will move into Aquarius at the end of November. And this will not happen ever again in our life. So for some, on a bigger scale, you're needing to take action, ending, closing out, or just take action upon something that you have been dragging, that you know at the back of your mind you need to attend to it, but you're dragging your feet. And this opposition is making you look within to see what that is, right? This can be a certain belief system, pattern, right? A bigger thing, a structure that's been holding you, but it's no longer resonating, right? Pluto in Capricorn wants to do that. And you need to move on, because you cannot move on to the next chapter, next phase of your life if you cannot do this. So look within and see what that might mean for you. And also, this Mars-Pluto opposition is only the first time that we're experiencing it, because, like I said, Mars is already in its pre-shadow phase of the Mars retrograde journey. So Mars will come back to this point later on next year, January, and have this opposition with Pluto again. But that will be a bit different, because at that time the Mars-Pluto opposition will be in different signs, because Pluto will be in Aquarius and Mars will retrograde in Leo. Yes, Leo and Cancer. So we will experience this Mars-Pluto opposition 3 times. One during this time, later during the retrograde, and after Mars station direct. So maybe something is brewing, coming up. It's more of a feeling that is coming up for you, that you're noticing during this new moon, and you will continue to investigate, excavate, and deal with it and do something about it later on during your Mars retrograde journey. So for some, this is the opening of your Mars retrograde story. So see what's happening. What are you dealing with, working with, moving through this week, because chances are they might come back again. And lastly, November 2nd, Mercury in Scorpio is going to trine Mars in Cancer. So this can be a day where you are taking action, addressing a problem, talking about it. Mercury in Scorpio, you have done your research. It's time to take action, right? So this is that kind of energy. And then Mercury will go and sextile Pluto in Capricorn. This is the last time you're experiencing this aspect, like I said, because Pluto will move into Aquarius very soon at the end of November. Mercury sextile Pluto, this can also be a day where you will have some supportive conversation, because it's a sextile, it's supportive, it's helpful. If you want to talk about something that is a little bit sensitive, maybe this is about some kind of power dynamic or struggles that you're experiencing in a certain situation or in a relationship, it's a great day to talk about it. If this is what you need to address, like I said, use that Mars and Pluto energy to help you move through this tough, hard conversation, sensitive conversation that you need to have, but it's supporting you to do so. And after that, Mercury will ingress into the next sign, Sagittarius. So Mercury will move into Sagittarius on November 2nd, 12:17 p.m. Pacific time, or November the 3rd, 3:17 a.m. Hong Kong time. So just the time according to where you are in the world. Mercury in Sag is very different. So there's definitely a vibe shift by the end of the week. But with all this energy, probably next week. So Mercury in Sag loves to talk about all the Sagittarius stuff, right? Which is about philosophy, psychology, spirituality, religion, belief system. So you might find yourself engaging with all those topics and conversation a bit more than the other time during this Mercury in Sagittarius transit. Mercury is said to be in detriment in the sign of Sagittarius because it's on the opposite sign of Gemini. So Mercury is furthest far away from the sign that is ruling, Gemini, right? So that's why Mercury in Sag might feel a little bit scattered, right? Sagittarius is also ruled by Jupiter, so it's magnifying. They have that big picture energy. So during Mercury in Sagittarius, you might want to have the conversation tend to be more big picture. There's a sense of lacking of focus as well. So there's light and dark attribute with every transit and energy, like I said. So during this transit, you might find yourself it's harder to have like small detailed conversation. It's harder to focus. You might even feel, what is this person talking about for the whole day? It's like so vague. Where's the point? Where's the point of this conversation? What's the point? Where's the detail? The person might be lacking. You might find yourself beating around the bushes for half a day and still not getting into the heart of the conversation. What are you trying to say? Can't find the word, right? So during this transit, some of us might feel more like that, right? And sometimes Sagittarius can be very dogmatic with its belief, with its what they think, right? So during this transit, be a bit more open-minded, you know, welcome all kinds of conversation. Of course, be mindful with the energy. You know, it's nice to have conversation, to talk about different things in life, but don't force it into like, you need to agree with me because I'm always right, because that is the shadow side of Sagittarius. Mercury is going to stay in Sagittarius until next year. Yes, January 8 or 9, depending where you are in the world. That's an awful long time for Mercury to stay in a sign. Dun, dun, dun. Yes, another Mercury retrograde is upon us. So we will definitely work with this Mercury in Sagittarius for an extensive period of time because of Mercury retrograde. Very soon we will be diving into the pre-shadow energy of this Mercury retrograde. So Mercury will be entering its pre-shadow energy on November 7, and Mercury will station retrograde on November 25th, 26th, depending where you are in the world, at 22nd degree in Sagittarius, go all the way back to 6 degrees, and station direct again later, December 15, 16, depending where you are in the world. But we also have a post-shadow energy, which is the third phase of its Mercury retrograde energy until early January, January 2nd, 3rd. So, and Mercury will continue to stay in Sagittarius after its post-shadow energy until 8 or 9 in January, depending where you are in the world. So a long period of time. So we'll continue to talk about this transit and the aspect that it will make later down the road. But watch out for this Mercury retrograde because it's in that holiday season, end of year season, and Mercury in Sag talks about long distance travel. You know, there's travel in general, and Mercury talks about travel as well, and the typical Mercury stuff, right? Mercury retrograde stuff, dealing with travel and transport. And it's in holiday season where many of us are thinking about traveling. So just keep that in mind while you are planning your holidays right now. I'm not saying not to go on a trip, but maybe space out. Make sure if you have a transit flight, have ample of time so that you can make it, right? And just know that at the back of your mind, if anything happens, don't stress too much about it, right? Because you want to enjoy your holiday. Lastly, on the 3rd, like I said, during that new moon, you will be feeling that Mars-Pluto opposition already. It's going to be exact today. So the overall energy of this week is quite tense, I would say. So if you can, if it's possible, space out your schedule. You know, like I said, remember to make time for self-care, for rest. You know, if anything's coming up, try to sit with the energy and assess the situation and slowly address it instead of like being impulsive. I know it's easier said than done, but this is my advice for this week. And now let's take a look at the card. Wow. So the tarot card is very on point. We have Saturn, we have the World card, and we have Devil, Capricorn. And in the middle, we have Scorpio energy, King of Cups. Just like I said, sit with whatever's coming up this week, because emotion can be heightened. We can feel extra agitated, annoyed. Maybe someone is really experiencing something, something at the back of your mind you need to address, and it's driving you nuts, right? It might be certain situation, relationship, or behavior, or just an area in your life that is at the back of your mind. You need to address it, but at the same time, maybe you are also very concerned with the situation, the dynamic that is within that thing you need to address. So it's a lot. So don't rush. It's okay. You don't need to, Rome is not built overnight. Give yourself some time and space to address, to attend to your emotion first, right? Listen to it. What is it telling you? And assess the situation. And maybe for some, this is something within that you need to change. Maybe this is a habit, a behavior, a pattern, a belief system within you that is eating you up, that is not serving you, aligning with the current version of you, or aligning with where you want to go. But it is hard because maybe perhaps that belief system, that structure, that pattern or behavior has been supporting you, even though it's not the best. It's been supporting you. It brought you to where you are today, right? So it's like, how can I just let that go? It's like, I know you're so bad, but I just want you. That kind of thing. It's almost like drug, right? For some, maybe you are dealing with some kind of substance abuse, God forbid, this might be a really bad habit that you're trying to kick, and it's hard, but it's not doing you any good. It has to come to an end. That opposition is telling you that it's time to really attend to the situation and do something about it. And for some, it might be very frustrating because we are in the pre-shadow phase of that Mars retrograde, which is ruling this new moon, which is going to continue to present in the next few months as we work with this Mars retrograde energy. Whatever happened, there's a chance you might need to come back and deal with it again later on. So I know this can be very frustrating. So give yourself that time, that space, that love you deserve to allow yourself to move through a certain tough, difficult, or hard phase of your life, situation, or whatever that is, right? Wow, this is really a very strong Scorpio spread. From the Moonology, we have full moon in Scorpio. Breathe through the tension, like I said just now. Last quarter moon in Scorpio. Review what needs to be seen. Wow, okay, of course the full moon is going to review what needs to be seen. We are having a new moon, a dark moon, but remember, Scorpio is that very silent but deadly energy, right? Still water runs deep. So within that dark moon, this is when we sit with ourselves, with our intuition, with ourselves alone, to truly pierce through the layer into that underworld of ourselves, to assess how we truly feel, to make friend with our shadow and let it reveal what needs to be seen. And the veil is extra thin during this week with that energy. Sorry, I am a Scorpio sun and stellium. I love this energy. Like, I understand this energy, and it can be tough for someone to work with this energy, but try not to fight it. It's gonna be harder if you fight it. Just sit with it, allow it to take you and merge with the energy. That's the best way to work with it. It's not easy, but allow yourself to see what is coming up for you. Even though you don't want to touch it, you're scared to touch it, just slowly allow yourself to be friend with your shadow. Love that part of yourself. It will reveal what you need to see. And this might be a timeline for some of us, right? Over the next 6 months until Taurus season, when we have that full moon in Scorpio, you might be working through this energy, and it aligns with that Mars retrograde journey that will be working until next spring. And I do have something very special coming up. It's a November special that I will release in a day or two. I still need to make a video to post about it, but stay tuned. It kind of relates to what I'm talking about in this video, but let's look at that oracle card as well. Ooh, I love this. Trust the season, embracing change, cycle of life, transition, growth. This is the card of Scorpio, of autumn, right? This is all about embracing that in-between energy, right? That knowing that there's this cycle of change happening for us constantly, not to put us down, not to purposely make us suffer or be upset or give us negative energy or make us like, you know, have this death and rebirth process, but it is here to allow us to continue to shed the layer that is no longer serving us to reach the best version of ourselves. So yes, this week's energy seems a bit intense and tough to work with. So like I said, I remind so many times already, I feel like you don't want to hear it anymore. Take care of your energy. Be gentle with yourself. Have a great week. I know it can be hard with all these tough energies, and if I can be in service in any way, feel free to contact me. My email is in the description box. Follow me on IG, contact me over there, comment below, let me know how you find it. How are you feeling? What are you moving through? If you want any kind of personal consultation, astrology, tarot, akashic records, distant reiki, energy healing and sound healing, contact me below, and I'll see you in the next video.